Today I'm going to be showing you baby Tenno, the best way to level up when you first start out in this game, to get resources, to get mods, all of that good stuff. I personally recommend exterminate missions, survival missions, and defense missions for this. So I'm going to be using gear I had when I first started out to show you that you can use this on a majority of the planets when you first start out, like Venus, Earth, and Mars. Once you complete a majority of these worlds, you'll be able to upgrade your weapons, get different weapons, upgrade the mods you apply to those weapons, and be all set. So let's hop in to an extermination mission, see how we do.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here. Leave no one standing.
You got it, Lotus. We have 68 people to take down, but one thing I always recommend is loot everything you can. You get so many resources from it all, credits, and it's one of the best ways to just get loot. You also get affinity as well to level up. So, let's get into it. To be fair, I do have these upgraded with some decently powerful mods. So it might be a little unfair for all of these guys. The weapons I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using the boar, the Lado, and the MK1 bow. So, find all these enemies, see how we do, run around, loot a little bit, enjoy the game, explore the map. That's the biggest thing.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
We'll run into these Eximus guys. They are much stronger than everybody else. It can be a bit of a pain to deal with. But I always recommend to run in there with your melee weapon. I find that to be the strongest weapon you will have until you're able to properly upgrade your mods and get better weapons. So if you guys are ever feeling worried that you can't handle a mission too well, or enemies are just that hard to beat, what I did, I focused on upgrading all of my mods for my melee weapons. So those were always the strongest you started out with. And honestly, at the level I am right now, I still primarily use my melee weapons. All the mods you will get are going to be coming from fallen enemies. So if you see any mod, I highly recommend picking them up. If you already have the mod and it's a duplicate, you can either keep it and only upgrade one of those mods. So when you buy new weapons and you really like that mod, you'll still be able to use it because it will have a lower rating than one that's fully upgraded. So I personally recommend to do that. Or you could sell it off for credits or endo. I personally recommend, if you are going to sell it, for endo, because that's what you need to upgrade said mods. I personally like exterminate missions for the looting in them. You can run around everywhere, you don't have to stay in one spot. I came up with 1800 salvage, 1 Rook's Claw, 6 Morphics, $7,000, 3 I-10 science stars, a field drawn sample, 2 mods, and 2 nav coordinates. I like exterminating missions for the looting mainly, but defense and survival I like the most for leveling up, because generally you just stay in one area a lot of the times, especially with defense, and we'll get into that right now. So now we're in a defense mission. We have a Warframe cryopod. We need to protect this guy. This is one of my favorite for leveling up, now that we're in a defense mission. You get to stay in one spot and kill countless enemies, but make sure you do not... I lost track of words. Don't let this dude die. Uh-oh. That's an Eximus. I personally hate those Jade Light Eximus. They drive me nuts. Remember guys, if you need to reload, switching to your secondary is usually faster. I always recommend try to keep these guys at a good distance from you. Because if they get in close, it can get a bit overwhelming. Those guys with the shield are super annoying. But because I have nicely upgraded mods, I'm able to shoot right through those shields, so I'm not too worried about them. Remember, if you guys do find yourselves in such a pinch, use your energy abilities on your Warframe. I'm using Gara, who is my personal favorite for any attacks. Any enemies caught in here turns to glass and makes it super easy to kill. Her first ability, Glass Shard, if you shoot it at the barrier, it will explode, killing everybody around it. Now we wait for more enemies to come on down. It also helps having a companion by your side. That can either be a dog, a robot, a cat. They will help you attack anybody who comes by, and it will be a major help to you. Now that this is done, we are rewarded with Pressure Point, which is one of my favorite mods. So we either have the choice of leaving or continuing the battle. Personally, I'm going to leave.
Very impressive,
But the longer
Tenno.
you
held them all
continue,
back. Time
the
to
better
get
the
out of here.
rewards will be. Oh yeah, survival. This is going to be a rating from 10 to 20. Not as low as the missions we did before. So we'll see how this will go. I have confidence in us.
A steady stream of
Shut
toxic
up.
spores is being released
Not
into
you,
the
Lois.
area. Hold on. Emergency life support is inbound.
These are infested. They're a bit more of a pain if you guys haven't ran into these, depending on how early of a level you are. But they drop life support for you. We're going to have to survive a minimum of 5 minutes until we are able to leave.
Fallen enemies will drop crucial life support. Be on the lookout.
There's one thing I always recommend. First thing to do with these survival missions is run towards the life support capsule. Because you got it right by your side if you do fall to a dangerous level. But if you play it smart, kill enough enemies, they drop mini life support capsules, which are worth
Life support
5%.
on the way.
But you kill enough, and they drop enough, then you'll be able to just sit here in one spot that's nice and open, so you can constantly kill a bunch of enemies with no problem at all. I also don't recommend sitting still, always being distant from the enemy, and confidently take them down.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
There's one nice thing about the boar. You are just able to hold down the trigger and it will just keep shooting for you. Which honestly makes it a lot nicer than having to keep hitting the trigger every single time. 2 minutes in. We have not been overwhelmed at all. We're sitting pretty comfortable. We're about halfway there almost.
Get ready for a capsule.
I'm just now realizing I have a bad habit of reloading before my gun's actually empty. Also, another nice thing about looting when you're doing the survival, it will drop a mini life support capsule.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
You're the best. Now we have 3 life support capsules all by themselves. Every 3 life support capsules will all be around each other. So you can confidently stay in one area instead of having to run to a different spot every single time you use one. This makes it a lot nicer than it could have been. Look at that. We killed probably 10 enemies. Stop that. And we have 4 life support capsules. That just brought us up by 20%. We are getting a little lower, sitting around the 60% area. But I'm not too concerned. The longer this fight goes, the more enemies that are going to come. There will be different enemies as time goes on, and the enemies will get stronger. So far, we are still one-tapping them with this shotgun.
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work. Extraction is available if you need it.
So we've hit the 5-minute mark. We have the choice to leave, but if we stay longer, every 5 minutes, we will get a new reward. Honestly, the rewards in this aren't always the best, but this gives you a good opportunity to just level everything up. I've used this shotgun enough. I'm going to switch over to my pistol, which is only level 6. So we started at 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Let's just kill these enemies, see what level I can get this pistol up to by the end of the round. You guys hear this beeping? This is a security bypass.
You found a bypass. Put it in a console to briefly disable security protections.
And Lotus just explained it to me. Or not to me, but for me. Thank you, Lotus. She did explain it to me. But if you plug that in,
has just been aided by a security bypass.
it speeds up your time like nothing at all. So it'll make this mission go by a lot faster and allow you to get anything from the 5-minute mark each time a lot faster. That was horribly explained, but you get the idea.
Spore saturation is nearing critical mass. After that point, no amount of life support will save you.
We are at the 20% mark. Now 15. Can you let go? Dude, now we're starting to get a little overwhelmed. If you reach to the point where you're in the red zone,
Life support activated.
you can either run away or go to the life support capsule. I personally recommend getting a life support capsule
Life
first,
support has been replenished.
just because it will give you that little bit of extra time to run to the exit, so you don't lose all your progress or all your
Look
loot.
what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
But now I'm kind of at the point where I'm getting a little overwhelmed, and this pistol is not going to help me. It's getting harder and harder to keep my distance from these guys. If you run into these ancient beings here, I highly recommend targeting the healers first, because they will actively heal everybody else and take out any sort of damage you do. Now we hit the 10-minute mark. We just got another mod. So far, I've been using my Lado for the majority of the 5 minutes. I had to use my bow there just because we were getting a little overwhelmed. And it's still at level 6. We'll get a big chunk of XP once we finish said mission. Gosh, I hate these little flying buggers. But I think I'm at the point where I'm going to have to stop using this. Either go back to my shotgun, or I should start doing,
The spores
not
have
doing,
almost
using.
completely saturated the atmosphere.
Gosh, I'm gonna die.
You need to get out of there.
Or start using your bow. I should be paying more attention to that.
Life
But if
support
you
has
start to
been
get overwhelmed,
replenished.
use your energy abilities. I cannot stress that enough. They can save your ass. Look at that. It destroyed nearly everybody. And you have plenty of energy just sitting around. Afterwards, as long as you are not spamming it constantly so you don't have money. I do admit, I will have a habit of abusing my energy a lot. But I honestly find that it's quite worth it. Sometimes. But sometimes you're going to find yourself to the point where you don't have any energy. And that right there could
Life
be what
support
kills you.
activated.
But as you run around to each capsule, or each set of 3 I should say, you will be able to do a little bit of loot. As you guys can tell, my shotgun's getting to the point where it's not doing a whole lot of damage. It's taking almost the whole magazine to kill these guys. That's why I recommend it. Switching over to your melee weapon. And that way it'll become a lot easier to fight everybody. And it'll do a lot more damage. Like I said, if you guys do start to get too overwhelmed, you should abuse your energy a little bit. I'm going to activate these 2 life supports on the other side. We're at 14
Life support
minutes.
has been replenished.
We are almost able, well, once we hit the 15-minute mark,
Life support
we will
activated.
get our last bit of loot, and then we will head out of here. See how much XP we gain, stuff like that. Survival missions are great for getting credits, XP, modifications. I highly recommend doing a bunch of survival missions. I got 32,000 credits for just playing for 15 minutes in that. That really isn't too bad. And if you guys have a credit booster, an affinity booster,
Navigation
resource
has been
drop
updated
booster,
with new invasions.
it
Chaos
can
is
nearly
spreading.
double that, which is just fantastic. But we came out with a good amount of salvage, 3 morphics, and looks like we got 6 mods. Yes, I did start to struggle there within the survival mission, but I'd say try not to worry about that because that one was rated 10 to 20. So if you are using these weapons, you're probably sticking around to that. I'd probably guess 10 to 15 range is when you really start pushing it with these weapons. But then again, I don't have these as upgraded as I could. So once you guys get these upgraded a lot more, they'll be able to do a ton more damage. But if you guys apply the potatoes or Orkin cells, I think these are called, no, not I don't know, I forget. Either way, this can double your mod capacity, allowing you to put on a lot more mods to bring the damage rate up, your critical chance, your status, the critical damage. It'll be great. So I only really do recommend using the Orchid cells here to weapons you know you're going to primarily use. If I were to recommend any of those missions for you to upgrade everything all around equally, to get the most credits, to upgrade all of your gear, and to get the most mods and resources, I'd probably say to do the survival missions. That's what's going to help you out the most. as you saw throughout the video. So all in all, I recommend using survival missions, especially when you upgraded enough. Go to a spot where you can easily kill these enemies and run it for about half an hour. You can walk away to probably with around 70,000 credits. And that's without any boosters. But you can use boosters to allow yourself to level up if you guys want. But that really depends if you guys do want to spend the money. And this is a free game. But thankfully, this isn't pay to win, nothing like that. So you'll be able to just grind your way to the best you can be. Which is honestly fantastic. Huge shout out to the devs for that. It's fantastic. It's alright, Point. It's alright. Either way, me and Point will see you guys within the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you did like it, make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Either way, I'll see you guys within the next video. Peace out.